You could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello, everybody. Today we're meeting Joanna Armstrong. She is a speaker, an author, a coach. Hello, Joanna. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Anna. It's great being here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So let's start a conversation by diving into your journey of becoming the person you are today. What
Mhm.
led you to discover your true passion in life? How did it start for you?
Well, many moons ago, um, I've always followed my drive, if you will. I've always asked myself, what is important for me? And I had a lot of energy a few, well, those years ago when I was 18, I asked uh, God, if you will. I wasn't necessarily a believer, but I had some sort of notion that there's something bigger. And I was very frustrated about what's my next step because I wasn't getting the vibes.
Mhm.
And I reached out and I said, "What am I supposed to do? What university?" Because I was trying to figure out which university to apply to. So I
Mhm.
reached out and I got back, "You are supposed to make people happy." And I thought, I don't know that course. What course is that? Which university teaches that? So fast forward, I was very driven. I've always been capable, whatever that is. I've been a good girl. Good grades and not top grades. I wasn't driving myself crazy, but I was very determined and followed what I like to do, which was to study and learn. Um, and all of that was going really nicely. And I lived in New York, where you are now, and that was that part of my life. And then I moved back home to Sweden, and that's where I am now. And I've constantly been asking myself, but on the outside, I've had a drive, I've had a hustle. So you're supposed to
Mhm.
hustle. You're supposed to, aren't you? I mean, isn't that how you get ahead? Isn't that's the fun, that's the excitement, that's the energy.
Mhm.
And a lot of successful people have that energy. Because it's fun. It's a fun high. You feel high. And I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I drink a little bit, very little. But this high on life. But unfortunately, I wasn't listening inwards enough. I followed one voice, the voice of excitement and the voice of drive, but I didn't follow the voice of care, the
Mhm.
voice of being. I was following the voice of doing. And that's what they teach out there. Parents, school, get good grades, get a good job, climb the career ladder. So I drove myself into the wall. So then I had to figure out a new way. So on this path of helping others, and I learn great tools to feel better, to be yourself, to listen in, and I teach that to others. But I am always a step ahead of what I'm supposed to teach. So this message I got so many years ago when I was 18, a young girl, woman, um, I'm starting to implement that. I'm starting to take that seriously. And it's a really beautiful journey, but in many ways it's the opposite of what is taught out there. So I'm evolving, my clients are evolving, and that's that co-creation. I mean, co-creation upwards to the skies or the powers, um, and the co-creation us humans. We're co-creating this episode today. So, in a nutshell, that's my journey.
Wow, yeah, and I see how you discovered your own message through the just inquiry. Like you got to ask yourself, and I know like there's people like who would call it universe or God or higher power, but it has to be something bigger than just you as a person here. It has to be your own, I would say, purpose in life, or like your unique gifts, talents that you're here to share with others, to be in service
Yes.
of others. And how can someone get connected to that? How they become more mindful or clear on what is that they here to do, how they can discover, reconnect to their true nature, and know what are the steps they need to take in order to achieve that type of life that they are aspired to have. So if you can just share with us some maybe practices that helped you and maybe your clients to become clear on the purpose in their life and what they can focus on to be more efficient.
Yes. Yes, and you ended all of that with the word efficient. And that's a dangerous word. It's a bit tricky. Because that really does trick us up. Efficiency is that alluring feeling of that high, and we're supposed to be very good at it. And the businesses are always looking for efficiency, but us humans aren't efficient, and that is what I learned, had to learn. I didn't do it voluntarily, I have to admit, when I burnt out, and I burnt out several times. And the tool that you're asking for, I love simplicity. So my tool has become a combination, because I've been helping people for 15 years. This year it's 15 years. I've been helping people feel better, become more authentic, stand up for themselves, not believe their feelings. And so my new saying is, don't believe your feelings. They can trick you up. Believe your intuition. So the feelings tend to have to do with the doing. Oh, do this, do that. Oh, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't be that. You shouldn't dress like this. You should dress like that. You should not go for this career. You should go for some other career. So that's the doing. Our feelings tend to have a lot to do with our ego. Our intuition is the thing, the voice on the inside. And the voice on the inside is very quiet. And that's why I didn't hear it. I didn't want to hear it. I pushed it away for so long, even though I was helping people, because I've been doing this for 15 years. So somewhere in the middle of that journey, I crashed, and several times, because that little voice is very insistent. It won't leave you. Your intuition will never go away. And it only wants your well-being. It wants you to have an even better life than you think is possible. So you need to find tools. I have found very good tools that I like because they're very efficient. We're back to efficient, bit dangerous, but they are very, um, you don't have to drag it along. You don't have to drag out the processes, and so it's a sort of a shortcut, I suppose, to getting in touch with the being, with your being, not his being, not her being, your being. What are you called to do? What is your purpose? What is your path? Um, so I use EFT, EMDR, Blissy Joy. I call my business, my company's Blissy Joy, because I found a way of connecting. It's like you just plug yourself into this amazing, amazing sea world of calm, of ease, Now we've had holidays, lots of things to do, and lots of, efficient busyness. You're supposed to be busy, you're supposed to be invited here, and you're supposed to invite these people, and it's all of this doing. And that oftentimes create tension and difficulty, and people get tired, and because it's too much for us humans, the body is very limited. So when you get tired, tense, sparks fly, I just, I just, in seconds, I step back on the inside and I go, oh, that's right. I don't have to believe this. I don't have to believe my feelings. I can be in my being and keep on following my intuition. And it might seem a bit incredulous, but it is that quick. Of course, for people that haven't achieved it, haven't understood it, there is a process. I teach a process, but it is that simple. It is that easy. It's supposed to be easy. Life is supposed to be easy. But for some reason, our egos do, they tell us another story. The people around us, all those achievers, all that success that we feel that is right there in our grasp, another car, another house, another whatever it is. It's not about that. Seems as if it is, but it's about something else.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned you've been burned out a few times in your life. And I think a lot of people could relate to that because, nowadays we're just like running on autopilot, doing something that we don't even know why we're doing that. And again, listening to those messages that we have to, push harder, work harder to achieve something. And that's always in front of us every single day. So how can we slow down? How can we integrate something in our life that could bring us to this world of ease and peace and feeling of bliss and joy, there we can like reconnect or recharge, I would say, and really like not being in rush, but knowing what is it that we're doing and what is our next inspired action that we're supposed to take. Not just doing something randomly, but doing it on purpose.
Well, my go-to technique, one of them is emotional freedom technique. So emotional freedom is what you achieve by it's a form of meditation or mindfulness. And during the years I've been practicing this and helping people learn and change their lives with this, I've developed a blissfulness part of it. So it's mindfulness with bliss. So you said purposefully. So you purposefully allow yourself to see and attract, if you will, what your heart desires. So it's really your heart is speaking to you. So the quickest way to get into that state, meditation takes a long time to learn. And so that's why I like EFT tapping, because you're doing the meditation, if you will, is to tap anywhere. The viewers or the listeners can try this. Just tap anywhere on your body. There are certain acupuncture points that we teach that are supposed to be better. But for a beginner, just tap anywhere on your body. My husband, he was tapping before I knew about EFT, emotional freedom technique. So just tap and take a deep breath. And preferably an exaggerated deep breath, not a nice or controlled or pretty one, but allow yourself to just exaggerate your breath and exhale. Exhalation calms you down. Inhalation picks you up. So let go and tap somewhere on your hand. There are certain acupuncture points, but just on your face, tap somewhere. Because this tapping and the breath, the exhalation, will bring down your stress level up to 60%. So you can reduce your stress level, your frustration level, your anxiety, your so just allow yourself to do that and see what happens. And that is the first, quickest, just kind of reminder, reducer of stress, anxiety, pressure, efficiency, if you will, to land on the inside. And if you've done work on yourself, if you've taken therapy or whatever you've maybe been helped with your emotions, um, then it might be easier for you to take this on, not necessarily, but probably. But if you're a complete novice to self-help or self soothing or meditation or mindfulness, then it might take a few trials. So I offer these free courses, free meetups, and just to get people started. And then if they need more, then they're free to meet up with me in various ways. But I have these startup initiations, if you will, for anyone who's interested, because some people, that's all they need. Some lucky people just need that first little, guidance. Most people, of course, need a little more, but generally, it's a very, very nice and helpful method. And then I've added on to that, so you can reach even higher stages of enjoyment, ease, peace, bliss. That's I've experienced it several times. So it's a matter of wanting it, deciding it, believing that it's possible, then taking these few steps, and you can be there. It's really that simple.
Definitely. And we have to like prioritize our health
Mm-hmm.
enough to give ourselves that time, because a lot of
Exactly.
times we think it's not as important. And I would
Mm-hmm.
just put it on a list of the
Yep.
worries that should be done. But
Yeah,
this is really like foundational for the well-being. And
absolutely.
how can we just prioritize it? Well, should we do like in the morning or before we go to sleep? Is there anything that will help us to like stay on track?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have certain ways of helping people, and it depends on who you are. It depends on who the listener is. If you are very detail oriented and you like to check things off, and you like schedules and set up some sort of formal ways of spending your day, then absolutely put this into a place where it feels the most natural. So sometimes I do it when I first wake up because I'm already laying in bed. I'm allowing myself a slow, gentle wake up moment instead of stressing out of bed and taking that quick shower and hustling along my day. So sometimes it's in the morning. So if that's you, then put it right in there. If you need something else or have something else already scheduled, do it while you're eating your breakfast, right before, right after, whenever really fits you. Some people do it when something is happening, when they're bothered. You can do it then, but that's the hardest, I would like to say. It's the hardest to do it when there's an issue, when you're in effect. But if you are a person that needs regularity and you need help to take these steps and help to get in the swing of things, then please reach out, and I'm offering all kinds of ways of helping you with that. Um, but it's very flexible. It's a help, the self-help tool, and sometimes it needs to be more. So it really depends. So the listener can decide for themselves where and how to put this in. But for beginners, it's good to get some sort of regularity to not dismiss it, because it is so simple. It is so easy. Oh, it can't be that easy. Well, it is.
Yeah, I think like a lot of times we think if it's too easy, there must be something about it that,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe I shouldn't even try. And we don't
Mm-hmm.
give ourselves chance to see that, even the easiest thing could help us really like
Yes.
propel in life. And we
Yes.
should just be, courageous enough to try something new and see how it can help us. And
Yes.
thank you for sharing this technique with us. And if there any like other mindful I would say practices, or maybe even like what do you think about sleep, the importance of sleep on our way of connecting with ourselves and seeing like what's important in our life? Do you think sleep is important and helping us to build
Oh,
that foundation of wellness?
no, that is a very good word. I like that. Foundation. I agree with you fully. Um, if you don't have the sleep figured out, if you're sleeping choppily, your night is chopped up with toilet visits or wake ups, or you wake up because you're bothered, you're hot, you're cold, the cat comes in and bothers you, um, then that is a problem. If you don't sleep long enough, that's very individual. And most people that I see, because I help people with sleep issues as well, they don't sleep enough. They sleep, eh, they get by, but you cannot just get by for very long without attracting all kinds of issues, health issues, mental issues. So, absolutely, sleep is very basic. You have to have that figured out and covered, and you need to sleep well. Um, and the key to sleeping well is to let yourself go. You need to let go. And of course, for busy people, their mind is not letting go. Their mind is planning, oh, this at work, that with my colleagues. Oh, my business isn't, doing so well. I need to fix something in my business. I need to be in touch with that amazing person. Your sleep requires you to let go. And so I have an EFT tapping technique that is specific to sleep, because sometimes you can excite yourself with tapping. So you need to tap in a particular way, and there are certain extra tools, if you will, within the EFT tapping modality that I've added so that people can sleep better. Sometimes it's about the food, but I'm noticing that it's not so much about the food. I mean, we've heard that, oh, you shouldn't have sugar, you shouldn't have coffee, you shouldn't, it's about the relaxation. It's about the letting go. Um, it's about feeling bliss. Um, and bliss is this amazing thing that we associate with sexuality or being spoilt maybe, or with religion. But bliss, when you feel bliss, the hormone oxytocin starts flowing in your body. And that is that the hormone that calms you down, that repairs your cells, your energy. It's a healing hormone. We have this Swedish professor. She's been studying this for I think 30 years now. The oxytocin and the effects it has on our bodies. So it actually heals the cells and the DNA, and it's very powerful. So that is what you need to access when you want to sleep, because that just tips you right over into sleep. So food, coffee, yeah, sometimes you need that maybe if you're drinking a lot before sleep, or um, but most often it's the bliss state that you need to allow yourself. So again, how do you do that? Well, these tools, they are very amazingly helpful. Um, so yeah, I agree. It's foundational.
Yes, definitely. And I feel like a lot of times we just don't see that, with us giving ourselves the best chance to prioritize mental and physical health. This is like something that should be done on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that is of priority, and we have to treat it this way because
Exactly.
otherwise, like nothing could be really like achieved or accomplished in the way that is true to who we are. Because if we don't respect that, which is our nature, and not giving ourselves the best care possible, then no wonder we feel stressed, anxious,
Yep.
depressed, and all of that. And all of that
Mhm.
burnout comes up as a result of how we're treating ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think this is something everybody should focus on and really like start making changes in their daily routine, because it
I
starts
agree.
as a habit. Like we have to develop some type of habit that will support us along the way and create this support system that will propel us forward and bring the feeling of, like you just mentioned, bliss and wellness and ease. So this is like something we can't really escape, but we rather have to evaluate how important that is in our life. And it's just being our own like cheerleader. We are the one that's supposed to take that responsibility, because
Mhm.
nobody will come and save you. You have to be the one. You have to care about yourself how you care about the child. Don't you think?
Well, yes. And I would also want to add that people might say something to you. They might say, "Oh, no, but take it easy. Oh, no, you're stressed out. Stop stressing. Stop rushing around. Stop." We do get messages from well-meaning people, but whatever. In our society today, and it might have been like this for a few thousand years, but in certain parts of society, in certain groups, we wear busyness as like a medal. We wear it as like a badge of achievement. Oh, I was so busy today, and I everyone wanted me, and I was, I had to do this and that, and there's so much amazing stuff in my life that I needed to be busy. Because otherwise, if you're not busy, what are you? Who are you? Are you a lazy bum? Are you well, lazy comes to mind the first, because that is very, very negative in our society, to be lazy. But as you're so well, you're putting it so well, that it is a necessity. We need to take care of ourselves, but it's not as sexy. It's not as fun. It's not, that thing that we get a medal for. We don't get promoted for taking it easy or caring, self-care and self-recovery. That's kind of boring. It's a bit not so, you can't brag about that. Well, it depends. I mean, certain communities, again, it depends on where you are in life. And I mean, some communities definitely prioritize it. But in the business community, if you're running your own business, I've run several businesses, and you're supposed to do other things, not take it easy. But you need to. You're very, very right in that it's a priority. You have to figure it out. And that little voice, the intuitive voice, not your feelings, the intuition is saying, "Oh, well, sit down, go for a walk, sleep a little longer." Um, that is the voice that we need to learn to listen to and follow. And then things will turn out even better.
Definitely. And I'm so grateful that we had a conversation today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and wisdom. And for those who would like to connect with you online, how can they find you?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, I run Blissy Joy BLISSY, joy.com. And as I've mentioned, I have all kinds of resources where people can start for free and start taking the steps. And I teach how to get rid of negative feelings, but also how to find that bliss, the ease, the joy on purpose in the middle of a storm, in the middle of, this demand and that demand and a demotion, or you have to move, or whatever it is. You can be in this state of blissy joy, as I call it.
Wonderful. And for those who would like to connect, I will also put the show notes as well. And as we close today, what would be the thought for our listeners?
Well, today I get a message, because I do try to listen in what the bigger picture, the bigger power is trying to convey through me, since they wanted me to make people happy. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be joyful. And when it's not, you're on the wrong track. When you are buying into the bad feelings, the bad vibes, you're on the wrong track. You don't have to believe the vibes. You don't have to believe your negative feelings, because that is the illusion. So stop. Just stop. Allow yourself to try something else.
Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Anna. It was really nice being here.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.